Hi, Morgan County High School seniors and parents. Congrats on your senior year. We know this year is full of so many stressors like applying for colleges, applying for scholarships, and figuring out what you'll study the next 4 years, or even your next steps if you choose not to pursue a 2 or 4 year degree. We've created this video for the purpose of informing you of available CFMC scholarships and to remove some of the stressors of the unknowns and so many tasks you have ahead of you. First and foremost, we'd like to say a huge thank you to our generous fund holders who graciously make these scholarships happen each year for all of our Morgan County High School seniors. This year, our scholarships range from $500 to $5,000 each, and many of them are for trade-pursuing students. Seniors, if you are selected for a scholarship, know that we send these funds directly to your chosen university. CFMC scholarship applications are open Friday, November 11th, and will close promptly at 4 p.m. Friday, January 20th. Notice there are no exceptions to this deadline. Seniors, you'll want to start this application early to allow ample time for your guidance counselor to send in your high school transcript, time for any references to complete their recommendations, and time for you to write and proofread any essays that will be required through the scholarship application process. Now, let's walk through your scholarship application. First and foremost, as you can see on the screen, you'll visit cfmconline.org. Hover over scholarships and select CFMC scholarships. CFMC scholarships information is found on this page. You can see below, like I said, the application opening date and also your deadline. There's two important pieces of information I want you to take notice of. First and foremost, we've created a program guide for you. This was also sent to your guidance counselors at your high school and is accessible in their offices. When you click Download Guide, you'll see it's a multi-page guide for you. And the information that I want you to take note of is scholarships for all Morgan County residents, and then scholarships for your specific high school. There's also a description for each scholarship to know if you qualify. Pro tip, you can mark each one on this program guide, and then when you get to the application, you'll know which ones to select based on this program guide and whether or not you meet the required qualifications. And as you scroll down to the bottom, you can also see frequently asked questions. We've done this for multiple years, and so we put together an FAQ guide both for our parents and our seniors. So if you have specific questions, you may find it on this form, as well as other websites for the college application process, FAFSA, etc. You can print this guide, also save it to your computer if you'd like. Now, once you've seen the guide or accessed it in your guidance counselor's office, you've reviewed the scholarships and understand which you qualify for. You'll simply go back to the scholarship website on the CFMC page and select Apply Now. This brings you to the homepage for this year's scholarship applications. You'll first want to read the beginning information, make sure that you are a senior for this next year, and select Apply. It'll ask you a few beginning questions on eligibility. You'll need to ensure that you are either a resident of Morgan County or attending a Morgan County high school. Next, you'll create an account. So you'll create a new account, go through that process. For me, I've been in this before, so I'll go ahead and hit sign in. And it's going to bring you to the scholarship information. So I am going to pretend that I am a Martinsville High School senior. And I'm going to select which scholarships I believe that I can apply for. So I'll just select a few for an example. These are the scholarships that are specific to my high school. Up above was specific to Morgan County as a senior. Select next. Okay, and I'm going to enter my information. So this is just for me. You'll enter your information. Here, I'm going to describe myself in 1 or 2 sentences. If you hover over this section, we do give you an example of information. So for the video, I'm just going to type in info so it goes to the next section. As you see, there will be a few sections in here that have this red asterisk. And one thing I want you to know is that that means that this is a required field. So if you do not finish this, the application will not recognize that you finished your application and therefore will not be considered for a scholarship. So this is super important to make sure that anything with a red asterisk is completed. Go ahead and enter my date of birth, my preferred email address, and my phone number. One thing to note on your email address, I would highly recommend that you not put in your high school email address. And the reason why I say this is right now, even though you're a student at your high school, you're going to graduate in May. And come time when you graduate in May, you lose that email address. So you're going to be getting your college like tuition statement, your bill, like probably June, July, or August. And we send that check to your university, and we will need maybe Gmail, Yahoo, Google, whatever email address that is non-high school. So we'll need to be able to have an email address post high school that we can continue to communicate with you. So I've entered my phone number, street address, city, zip code. If my mailing address is different from above, I'll want to put that in. And then I'll put in my parent or guardian's full name. Oops. Okay. Go ahead and select next. This is the section that asks me for academic information. So my expected graduation date will be this next May. Hopefully yours will too. You do need to be a senior this year in order to qualify for these scholarships. This is not for existing high school freshmen. I'm sorry, college freshmen. It is only for high school seniors. So I'm going to select my graduation date for May 31st, 2023. Go ahead and enter my GPA, current weighted class rank. I'll need to find this information on my transcript. You will too. Weighted will be different than current GPA. Standardized test score, if you haven't taken it yet, you'll need to enter that information once you have. And then I'll enter like which test I have taken, for example. ACT, SAT, AP, whichever. Do I anticipate receiving the academic honors diploma on graduation? Yes or no? Are you a 21st century scholar? Are you a national merit scholar? And then if you have applied to any universities, go ahead and enter them here. If you haven't, just say, I have not yet applied. Have you been accepted into any college or university? For the sake of this, I'll just select no. Enter the universities in which you've been accepted. And what is your intended major? Okay, select next. All right. There are two sections on your application that are going to require information from other people. This is the first part of that involves your high school guidance counselor. They will need to send in your high school transcript, and once you fill in this information, the system will automatically send them an email. So you'll go ahead and put in their first name, last name, and then their email address. Make sure that this information is correct. That way it doesn't send to a wrong email address because you put in a typo. Go ahead and select next. Okay, and then it tells you confirmation that an email was sent to your high school guidance counselor. It is your responsibility to follow up with your guidance counselor to ensure that they do get your transcript sent back. And if they don't get this email for whatever reason, please let us know and we can resend this email to them. But do know that high school transcripts are required from your guidance counselor with the same deadline that you have for your application. And again, that's 4 p.m. Friday, January 20th. So I'm going to select OK. I'm not done yet. All right. College transcript does not apply. I'm going to go ahead and select next. All right, like I mentioned, you may have some essays in here, not just for this section, but some specific scholarships require a specific essay. As you can see, it has an asterisk, so this is a required field. Pro tip, I would recommend starting this essay in Word. Having somebody you trust look at this, proofread it, make any edits, and then copy that information from Word and paste it in here, so that you have a grammatically correct, with no spelling errors essay. It definitely puts you at the top compared to applicants who don't review their essays. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see you have a max number of words at 300. Some of the essays are different. So for the sake of just showing this to you, I'm just going to type in essay, and then we're going to hit next. You can save this application at any time, use your login information to re-access this. And this is where you're going to enter your extracurricular activities. So anything you've been involved in the last 3 years, we want to hear about it. What was the activity? How many years were you involved? How often? Are you currently involved, or was this a past involvement? Any leadership positions, awards, recognitions? These are the things that show us that you have been involved in your school, that you're interested and persistent about your personal and future professional development. Again, since it's an essay, feel free to start this in Word, have somebody proofread it, and then copy and paste it. It is a required field again, so you'll need to make sure that this information is entered. Same with work, anything in the past 3 years. Volunteer work should be up here in this section under extracurricular activities. Work is more actual paid work. If you are not working during high school, it's totally okay. Feel free to type in not applicable. But if you do have this information, we'd like to have the name of your employer, what you did, dates of employment, and hours per week. This shows that you've gone above and beyond, and we get a full picture of everything you've been involved in through your high school years. For the sake of just showing you, I'm just going to put in something so that it recognizes. Also, this is where you can put in additional volunteer information. Please don't put any information in longer than 5 years ago. Needs to be relevant. This is not a required field. As you can see, it does not have an asterisk. Okay, and we're going to go to the next one. Okay, as you can see, we're almost done. You can track your progress here on the right-hand side. Another essay explaining who you are, what you want to do in the future, any past experiences that have an impact on you, and why are you deserving of a scholarship. This is your chance, seniors, to be able to tell your story so that others get a chance to really understand in writing who you are, what you're about, and why you feel called to pursue what you do beyond graduation and in high school. So this section is required. Again, you can start it in Word if you'd like, have it proofread, and then you're going to put in your essay information. Again, for required fields that have an asterisk, if you leave these sections blank, the application will not be complete and you will not be considered for a scholarship. On this essay, you've got a maximum number of words at 750. Any max number of words you can see at the bottom. Go ahead and select next. Like I said, you can save this at any point and exit. Okay, so for most scholarships, you are required to enter at least one reference. Some additional scholarships, depending on which you qualify for, may require an additional reference, such as a coach or a church leader. In this case, this is just going to ask me for one. I would talk to your reference just like you talk to your guidance counselor about your high school transcript. Mention this to your reference and say, hey, this is headed your way. They have the same deadline you do of the Friday, January 20th at 4 p.m. to complete this reference for you. And it is your responsibility to follow up with your reference and make sure that they complete this in time. So you're going to enter their first and last name, also their email address. You'll want to make sure this doesn't have typos in it, because if it's wrong, it's not going to get to them. If for whatever reason we miss this, if they miss this email, contact us. We can always resend it. You're going to put in their title and what organization they work with. And then select next. Just the same as your high school guidance counselor, you'll get a confirmation that that reference information has been sent to them via email. Again, follow up with them, let them know this is coming and that they have to have this done by Friday, January 20th. And you'll want to make sure as the date gets closer that they've done this for you. If they don't have this reference information complete for any of your references or your high school guidance counselor, again, your application won't be complete and you won't be qualified for scholarships here with CFMC. Now, I selected a scholarship that has specific questions. This is also for an essay. This is also a place for you to explain any financial need. This is, again, an opportunity for you to share your story and why you are the best fit for the scholarships that you are applying for. So this is not a required field. It's just for additional information that you're welcome to share more of your story. Maximum words of 500. Go ahead and select next. Since I selected the Bob Staggs Memorial Scholarship, I'm going to have an additional reference, which is a coach. So this would be if I was an athlete involved in some sort of athletics in my high school. So I'll enter my coach's first name, last name, again, their email. I'm just going to put in mine. And then it'll be coach, and then Martinsville High School, let's say swimming. Okay. Since I selected the Staggs Scholarship, I will also have a church leader reference that I need to complete. This is normal on some of these scholarships because the fund holders who review these applications, these are families who have specific requirements for their scholarship. So again, I'll put in my church leader's first and last name, their email address, and then what church. This specific scholarship also requires an additional reference for a community leader. So somebody who is a leader of a community organization you work with. Maybe you have volunteered, staff, faculty at your school. This cannot be the same person who did your primary reference, and none of your references can be somebody who is related to you. So you'll enter again, first, last name, their email address. Again, make sure it's correct. Okay. Just like your guidance counselor for your high school transcript and your primary reference, this will send an email to these references. Again, your responsibility to follow up with them. They have the same deadline as you to complete this information. Once again, that's Friday, January 20th. As we scroll to the next page, you can see you're almost done. This may be lengthy or short, depending on how many scholarships you've selected. And you can see that you're on page 12 of 14, so you're almost done. Since I selected the Meredith Nieper Memorial Scholarship, I've got one more essay that is required 300, 600 words. This gives me the description of what the fund holder wants to see out of my essay. It is a required field. Again, you'll have to complete this in order for your application to be complete and for you to be considered for any scholarships. Again, welcome to start it in Word, have it proofread. You can log back in, copy and paste it in this section. So for this scenario, I'll just type in essay, just showing you what to do. Select next. Okay, now your signature page just confirms that all of this is true and correct. This is going to be my electronic signature. You'll put your name in here. We'd love to know how you heard about this scholarship program. This just ensures that we're going through the right channels so that future high school seniors can know about these scholarships. So please tell us how you heard about our scholarship program. Select next. And since I am on the last page, there's nothing further required of me. All of my essays are complete. I'm before the deadline of January 20th at 4 p.m. I will go ahead and hit submit, and I have completed my application for CFMC's 2023 scholarship applications. It's still your responsibility to follow up with your references, your high school guidance counselor. I wanted to show you this specifically. If you have any errors, sections you have skipped, it will show this to you. So I missed the extracurricular activities, so I'll go ahead and put that information in and hit submit, and hopefully it goes through. Okay, I can see that my scholarship application is now submitted. I can go back in and view the details at any time. And it's also your responsibility to follow up, like I said, with your high school guidance counselor for the transcript and any references who you had sent information to. So you've got to complete your portion. They have to complete their portion. All the same deadline, 4 p.m. Friday, January 20th, 2023. You can save the application at any time, log back into Smarter Select, and enter those essays in the future. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to our office. Our phone number is 765-813-0003. I'm Jessica. I'm your scholarship coordinator. And congratulations again on your senior year. We look forward to awarding these scholarships come May at your senior awards night. Thank you so much.